Hi there, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso, and I just wanted to, I just wanted to answer some questions that some people have been asking. So, first off, no, ma'am, no. First off, do I have a job? Yes, I do work. I've had a job for or my current job, for about 6 years now. I work at a business management company and I provide IT and marketing. I love my job. Like I said, it's given me the ability to grow and do this, which is my hobby. So it's great. Yes, we do. I used to train dogs. I do still own a dog training company. It's an LLC. And I did it for a while, but at the time, the positive reinforcement kind of revolution was really trendy at the time, and there wasn't, it's kind of like trying to sell meat when, being vegan is huge, right? It's just, it was the wrong time. So, I had some clients and it worked out well for the most part, but overall it just didn't really feel right. So I quit, and that's whenever I got the job that I have now. And so yes, I do, I do train dogs from time to time now, but usually it's word of mouth. I don't advertise for it, and it's not my day job. Well, I mean, it's my day job now that I have all these dogs. But as far as doing it commercially for other people, hasn't been my job for a long time. As far as breeding dogs, I used to breed dogs about 10 years ago. I was breeding American Pit Bull Terriers, and I loved my dogs. But unfortunately, at the time, the bully dog revolution was getting really big, and I did not like bully dogs. No hate towards people who do, but I am a fan of working type, and I didn't want I don't really like a short-legged big dog. Like it just didn't fancy me. So when people were calling and always asking for, Gotti line and Racer's Edge and all this stuff, I just didn't want to participate in it. I didn't want to stop doing what I like doing, which is breeding a more working type dog to breeding what everybody wanted to see. So and then also at the same time, the dog breeding was becoming. There are very few things I think that or very few professions where people will attack you the way that they will if you're a dog breeder. And the amount of hatred and horrible things that I would get in emails and things like that, it got to be a lot, and I began to question what I was doing, and I wasn't quite sure that I was making the right decisions. So I quit breeding dogs, and I kept my main stud dog, and it would be like me keeping Preacher and not breeding anymore. And his name was Terrible. And Terrible passed away in June of last year. He was 9.5 years old, and he died of a very common cancer of the gums for dogs around that age. And when he was starting to get older, we knew we wanted to get. I knew I was going to need another dog. There's no way I could deal with the passing of one of my dogs without another one. So just to love on. So I got Preacher when I guess about 1.5 years before Terrible died. And he raised Preacher, had a lot of his mannerisms, and when we put him down in our house, we did it here. We had an in-home euthanasia service come by, and they did it here, and then we had him cremated, and he's in this really beautiful ornate box that we have. So it was so painful to me that I didn't have like one of his babies, and a friend of mine who did buy one of his early daughters still had one of his daughters. So we went and met up at the park, and I got to play with her, and she acted so much like my dog Terrible that it was very healing for me. It was a lot like kind of getting to feel that a part of him was still here, and I vowed at that point to never listen to anybody say that there should be no one breeding dogs. I knew in my heart of hearts that there's value in being able to have a piece of somebody who's gone. And I knew then that I didn't ever want to have to deal with the loss of Preacher without having one of his offspring, at least one of his relatives with me when that time comes. It is a healing experience. And it's also healing for people who have also bought dogs from us, like customers of ours that have Preacher puppies now. To be able to have one of his, great grandchildren or something of that nature, I think is a very healing thing. And I think it has value. Yes, rescue and adoption is very important. However, it's really a lot more controlled than it was. A lot of people don't know this, but they've been bringing in dogs from other countries for a while now. South Korea, China. In fact, it's actually been spreading quite a bit of disease, unfortunately. So while I do think that there is a space for adoption, and it is important, and for people who want to do that, that's great. I don't think that it is an excuse to say that there shouldn't be anyone breeding. There are breeds of dogs that have been around for generations, and they have historical value, and they deserve to be preserved. And so, do we need to be more responsible? Absolutely. We need to have breeders that have their hearts in the right place and that are looking to preserve breeds, not just win ribbons and get a big ego boost from going to a show. I mean, what happened to the show version of the German Shepherd is an absolute tragedy. And it's a big reason why you don't see me showing my dogs. I'm not a big fan of show dogs, but I am a big fan of people breeding dogs true to the original type, true to what the breed is supposed to be, and preserving those dogs for generations to come. So that's what we do, that's who we are, and that's why we breed. So just wanted to clarify that and, let you guys know why we do what we do. So y'all have a great night, and we'll talk at you later.